So today we're going to work on sales tax. Now, sales tax uses the percent of a number, right? So for example, all right, here is a question. What is the sales tax of an item that costs $24.99 when the sales tax is at a rate of 7%, okay? And that is the PST in BC, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. The first thing that you need to do is calculate the tax. And that is 7% of $24.99, which really is 7 divided by 100 times 24.99. And that gives us 1.7493. Now, we need to round that to 2 decimal places, which really means we have 1.75 as our final answer for our tax. Now, to get the final total, if I ever asked you, okay, what you would do is you would take the tax and add it to the total price to get the final cost. But today, all we wanted was just the tax. Now, let's move on to the next concept. Now, when we take a look at all the different rates for the provinces, the different sales tax for the different provinces, this is what we have. You'll notice that British Columbia and Saskatchewan both have a total rate of 7%. Then we have Ontario, which has a rate of 13%, okay? And the rest, okay? And you'll notice that Northwest Territories doesn't have that, neither does the Yukon, okay? And none of it does not have one either. You'll use this table in order to answer the questions that we have for today's homework. Now, when you hear the concept of a harmonized sales tax, okay, a harmonized sales tax is instead of charging a GST, which is a goods and services tax, which is a tax that is arranged by the government that you have to pay, the federal government you have to pay. We also have a PST, which is a provincial sales tax. And what we do is we put those all together. And when we do so, that creates a thing called a harmonized sales tax. And that is what we pay in Ontario. Okay. Now, let's take a look at example 2. What's the difference between the price paid for PST on the same $11.49 item purchased in both British Columbia, and PEI? This is what we do. So the first thing we got to do is we just got to calculate the total tax. We got to calculate the tax from BC, and we do what we did before. So we end up with a tax of 80 cents because we round to 2 decimal places. Then what you have to do is you have to calculate the total price. And this is for BC, which is just going to be, 11.49 plus 0.80, which gives us this. And we end up with a total price of $12.29 for BC. So similarly, we get the same type of calculation for the price for PEI. And so now you got your tax for PEI coming out to be 1.15 once you round, and then we add it to the total to get the total price for PEI. And we get a price of $12.64 for a price in PEI. Therefore, the difference in price is going to equal 0.35. Now, you got to understand, taxes are important, right? To help pay for things in the government. But what's even more important is what we don't have to pay our HST in Ontario for. Now, for me, when I go to a store like McDonald's, I usually try to get something that is less than $4 because that will allow me to pay for stuff and not have to pay taxes on it. Okay. Now, there's other things that you don't have to pay for, and these are the things that you have to consider. These things, but for your everyday life, when you go to, say, a food place, if you get stuff that is less than $4, you don't have to pay any taxes on it.